सजना ओ सजना मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया तू ही है अब ख्वाबों में मेरे तू ही है अब ख्वाबों में मेरे चाहूं तुझको सांझ सवेरे छोड़ ना देना मुझको सनम छोड़ ना देना मुझको सनम साथ निभाना अपना सजना ओ सजना मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया जीवन भर ये प्यार हमारा जीवन भर ये प्यार हमारा बन के रहेगा अपना सहारा टूट न पाए अब ये कसम टूट न पाए अब ये कसम प्यार न बदले अपना सजना ओ सजना मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया
A very pleasant good evening and welcome to the Ken Rampersaud Show on Island Zone Radio on this beautiful Monday evening.
तेरा प्यार है दुनिया में तेरा प्यार है दुनिया में तू ना मिला तो मर जाऊंगी साथ रहे हम जन्म जन्म साथ रहे हम जन्म जन्म साथ न छूटे अपना सजना ओ सजना मैंने तुझसे प्यार किया
Well, a very pleasant good evening to the man Ryan Jeffrey,
प्यार किया मैंने तुझसे
Mary Lou, and
प्यार किया
a very good evening to you.
मैंने
Babita Prasad, a
तुझसे
very good evening to you.
प्यार
Diane Prasad, good
मैंने
evening.
तुझसे प्यार किया
This song is for all you beautiful
मैंने
ladies.
तुझसे प्यार किया
Like I said, a very good evening to each and every one of you who tune in tonight to the Ken Rampersaud Show. A lot of things going on in our community, but you know what? Tonight I have chosen to talk about, in a nice little discussion, I would want you guys to talk to me again what you guys feel about why do women really stay in domestic violence relationship? Um, Also, why do some men beat their wives or abuse their family? So we will talk about all that tonight. Nevertheless, tomorrow is the big day in New York, our mayoral election. Um, you know, we want to say we know who's going to win this election, but the truth of the matter is, it's not over until the fat woman sing. But may the best May the best candidate win this election tomorrow. And there is a lot of changes going on in the world, especially in the United States. And so we have to be very careful who we vote for. We want people who are like-minded, who are going to talk for the people of New York, especially for the poor people. So tomorrow, go out. It's one of the best thing you could do for yourself. And you have to be a United States citizen to vote. I'll be going there after 6 o'clock to cast my vote for the winner. Um, and it seems to me like we know who's going to win this election, but like I said, it's not over until the big fat lady sing. Beverly Sing, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you for sharing my post. um, like I said, share this today that we're going to talk about why do women stay in abusive relationship. Also, I want to tell you that I went to cover a story where a young boy, 15 years old, was robbed for his sneakers. He had on a $300 sneakers, and 13 young men went and what they did, they beat him up, stabbed him, and now he is in the hospital fighting for his life. But nevertheless, we are spreading the word, and you guys continue to spread the word. All right. Um, it's a sad thing how where the world is going. Real, to be honest with you, that people, you can't wear what you want to wear. There is always somebody watching and somebody want to take what you have. you know. Nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And so let's go and talk a little bit about. As you guys know, that I am in my new studio now. I didn't really set it up properly the way I wanted it, where I could come like it's a man cave, and I could sit down comfortably because the things is all over the place that you guys can get to see. A lot of dust and so on, but I'm getting there. Um, Domestic abuse is not just a private matter no more. It's a violation of human rights that shattered our family, destroyed lives, and perpetuate cycle of fear and silence. Every year millions of individuals, most often women and children, suffer physical, emotional, and psychological harm at the hands of those who supposed to love them and who they trust the most. This is not just about violence behind closed doors. It's about power, as we all know, and control. And the urgent need for society to stand up and speak out, ensure that every home is a safe place for our family, our young children, that our wife, our husband, and as we know that even sometimes men get abused too. And this may surprise you. An average of 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States, which is which equates to like 10 million victims per year, which is a lot, right? In a lifetime, one in about three women, one in four men. I was surprised when I was reading one in four men that's been abused. We never thought men get abused too, like how prevalent it is. So one in three women, one in four men experience a form of physical violence or intimate partner. One in four women and one in seven have experienced severe physical violence by an intimate partner. For example, beating, burning, or strangling in their lifetime. And I have to tell you, one on the day scale, hotline received more than 20,000 calls for domestic violence situation. That's a lot of calls that that people are being abused. 20,000 calls per day. And children exposure. Approximately 15.5 million children witness domestic violence each year in the United States. It costs the United States, it costs and it lose millions of money that your employer have to pay annually due to violence, partnership violence. And globally, we are internationally, about 30% of women, 15 plus worldwide, have experienced physical and or sexual intimate partner violence or a non-partner violence in their lifetime. More than 640 million women aged 15 plus have been subjected to intimate partner violence. In 2023, around 51,100 women and girls were killed by their partners, intimate partners, or other family members globally. That's roughly 140 women a day. I want to say some important thing I want to talk about. Many incidents go unreported, as we all know, so that the real scope of what really happened behind the closed doors with domestic violence we don't never get to know. And we want to say domestic violence include physical violence, sexual violence, stalking that we don't realize stalking, emotional psychological abuse, and coercive control. Different sources may form will focus only on some other form, right? Many are also victim of domestic intimate partner violence. True statistics are often higher prevalence among women. And risk factors can include age. Young adults have higher rates. Presence of weapon and or gun in the house increase the risk of homicide, prior exposure of violence, example childhood, economic stress. And I want to say while we're talking about this, I want to encourage our young girls, especially young girls, that they should go to school and take their education. They should make themselves marketable so that when they finish school, that they could get a proper job. You see, a lot of women, a lot of young girls, women, the years that they were supposed to spend in school studying and so on, what they do, they get with a boyfriend, they don't study. And so when they get married, what happened is that it's hard for them to move on in a relationship and make a decent money. So as a father, as a parent, I want to encourage people to go to school, take your education, and make yourself marketable. Anita Ish Dowlet Ram, a very good evening. Sherry Williams, my beautiful friend, good evening. Leela Sukdeo, a very good evening to you. Um, and why do women stay in this kind of a relationship? Oftentimes we get upset. Why she stay in this relationship? Why she don't go? So I will try my very best to see how I could share. And I would want you guys to share your experience. There are many reasons women might go back into an abusive relationship, and they are often deeply complex, emotional, and tied to psychological, social, and even economic factors. It is important to approach this issue in a very empathetic and non-judgmental way. Oftentimes we tell people we are not in their shoes, and we tell ourselves, why should I live? Why should I stay in that relationship? But I will try to break that down so that we could understand. Sometimes it's hard, especially when it's our family. I have two nieces actually. I heard they are in abusive relationship, and sometimes I talk to them. But it's hard sometimes because they're in it, and it's so much things that's holding them back on emotional bond. That's called trauma bonding. Many abusive relationships follow a cycle: tension, abuse, reconciliation, calm, which can create emotional confusion and hope for change. What will happen? You will see that a lot of times the men will beat their wife. They would stop talk to them. The wife will stop talk to them. They will go to bed. Hi, Mobina. Very good evening to you. Thanks for tuning in. Right. And I see my screen is I don't know if there's a problem. Anyway, and they will kiss up and make up back, and thinking that everything will get better. And sometimes the women think that the husband will change, and a lot of times no change. The cycle continues, and things are getting worse now. Where I see the husband now killing their wives. So it's a sad thing, but we need to talk. And why I'm talking about this now? I was not on last month. You know, place is getting cold now, so I get to do. I come on the radio more often. Intermittent affection. Abuser often mix cruelty and affection, which can create strong attachment, and we say call trauma bond that are hard to break. Right? Um, it's hard, yes. It's tough. It's not an easy thing. When you depend on someone for everything, it's not easy to say I'm going to let go. Fear of retaliation. Many women fear that their abuser will harm them, and we see some of them do harm them, their children, or their loved ones if they try to leave. I remember a situation in Windsor Forest in Guyana about 40 years ago where a husband, the wife left him. I never forget that. The wife left him, and he went and he killed his father-in-law. So a third street around that area. And it's sad. I don't know why my computer is acting up. Anyway, hi Juliet Citroen, very good evening to you. So they're scared that if they leave, that the husband or the person who abused them would harm them. Fear of being alone, especially if they've been isolated. They may fear loneliness or not being able to survive on their own. um, and it's a valid point that if you left a man with 4 or 5 children, who's going to take care of you? Um, how you will survive, especially if you have young children, and also you will need support from your family. Finance dependency. The abuser money or has isolated the woman from employment opportunities. She may feel she has no way to support herself or her children. And I want to say this. I may make some reels after I finish here. Is that I believe the government of Guyana and any government have a big role to play in domestic violence, especially when a woman feels that she don't have anyone or any kind of support. We can't tell the woman to leave the man and then they are them. I would like to see government set up some shelters where they leave and get themselves together and go find a job. Let people support them, the government or somebody. Some women return for the sake of their children, and some of them don't want to leave because of their children, hoping to maintain a two-parent bond or believe it's the best for the kids, even if it's harmful. Children can be harmful. They can learn that abuse is normal and acceptable. And I say this because when you children seeing that you're beating your wife or you're beating your husband, they may feel that's a normal way of life growing up. And so I want to tell parents, especially women, studies have shown that if you stay in a relationship that's abusive, you are hurting your children more than anything else. It's best to struggle a little bit for the sake of your children. than for you to be in a relationship and let your children them see the struggle that you're going through. And then and that alone, they could experience run in life, depression, and all these things. PTSD. Hi, my dear friend Samantha Cho. A very good evening to you. Hope all is well. Um, Tonight we are asking why do women stay in abusive relationship? And I know that you are not experienced, but you can talk a lot about this. Share what you guys are thinking about this, okay? And for those of you I am not seeing your what you're saying, just say something so I could shout you out, okay? Shame or guilt. Some women return for the same. Many victims are made to feel responsible for the abuse, culture, or religious belief. It can also make women feel ashamed for leaving their partner or getting a divorce. I was surprised a couple of days ago. I had a conversation with an older woman, and she was telling me, women, we marry to stay, no matter what. And I think that, in my opinion, as a man, let me tell you something. You're married in a relationship to stay if your husband is treating you good or your wife treating you good, and that you are in a relationship to make. But for me to encourage my daughter to stay in a relationship that's abusive, where she's not happy, nah, she got to go. She got to go. Because at the end of the day, happiness counts more than anything else, right? Lack of support. Friends and family may not believe them or may pressure them to stay. Long time in Guyana, people pressure their children to stay. If they're left, they hold their hand and take them back. It used to happen. We're in a different time now. You don't have to stay to get abused, right? Um, Hope for change. Like I said before, abuser often promise to change. They do all manner of things. They cry or show remorse, leading victim to believe that things will get better. The victim may still love the abuser. Oh yes, they always do, and believe in the potential of the relationship. And don't get me wrong. I tell people to listen. If a relationship is not working out and two people love each other, I believe that you should work on the relationship, husband and wife. Go to counseling, get help, try your best, family counseling, husband and wife counseling, and try your best for see how things gonna work, especially if children is involved. You know, there's some people who went for counseling and it worked. It worked. You know, um, low self-esteem. Adult in low self-esteem, abuser erodes self-esteem over time. A woman may start to believe she deserves the abuse or she can't do any better. But I want to encourage you to let you know, do things to make you feel good about yourself. Don't let anyone else control you how you feel, right? And I want to tell people that I have seen women in our community who was in abusive relationship went on and is doing great in life. They're doing great in life. They find somebody else, they're happy, they're working, and they're doing great things. So guess what? There is hope after you get away from after you get away from an abusive relationship. There's so many women who found love, and I want to encourage people. There is life after domestic violence. Rhonda Spencer, Tom, a very good evening to you. Thank you very much. Let's read what Samantha said. Yes, I was just going to say that. I think most women stay because of their children and sometimes hoping it will get better. Yes, They're all hope. Samantha, thank you very much. Patsy Ramnarayan, a very good evening to you. So we have family members, let them know that there is hope after that. You know, sometimes women get into relationship and they forget about themselves. They forget that they still have to cut their hair, look nice, groom themselves, cut their nails, cut their toenails, their fingernails, put on their little makeup to look good, put on their negligee, take a shower before they go to bed. Do things to make yourself feel good. You know what I'm saying? Don't think because you have children, it's about your children now. No, man. You got to take care of your own self. Right? Have a few girlfriends, go out. Do things, read a book. Don't let nobody belittle you. Don't let nobody put a value on you. You put your own value on your own self, ladies and gentlemen. You always, when you look in the mirror, just tell yourself, I am beautiful in the morning. Don't have yourself wear all them tearing clothes and all kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Right, Samantha? Got to dress up. Keep the fire in the relationship. And I want to say that nobody deserves abuse. Nobody. I believe in a free world. I believe that when you found someone and you love them, that you should receive love at the same time. Not everyone stays or go back, but those who do often make decisions based on what seems safest or most survivable at the time. Leaving can actually be the most dangerous time in abusive relationship. Statistically, threats and violence often escalate when the victim tries to leave. And we have seen it over and over. When women try to leave, that that's the hard time for them when the men try to come back and be them. And oftentimes women, what they do, a lot of times, they go back and they get abused and makes it hard for them to go back. And I have to tell you too one thing. I've been following abuse for since 2018. A lot of times women leave and then the partner would find out where they are, go sweetheart, them hold their hand, give them a kiss, and end up going right back into the abusive relationship, and the cycle starts all over again. Samantha say I go away on vacations with my girlfriends and do have dinner dates with my friends. Samantha, we were supposed to go for dinner too. Probably this summer, we could go. Trust, we have to give our partner space. Of course. People think that because you have your partner, you have to be behind them all the time. No, man. And an important clarification, abuse is always a choice. Many people experience stress, anger, and frustration. We all do. But they don't abuse others. Abusers often choose to harm, and it's systematically. So I want to encourage our young boys. I want to encourage our young boys and young girls that rather than fighting and arguing, give love. It's a good way to go, right? And then I should probably play a song for you guys. But I didn't prepare any song for you guys to hear. I should probably play a nice song for you guys so that I can catch my breath and come back, and we will talk about how can we support someone who is in domestic abuse relationship. Let's go.
I want you to point to somebody you know and tell them you need a jari. Lyrical. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. mind your business and don't worry about me. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Play the thing, man. Jump the thing, man. What you don't like for yourself, don't like it for no one else. What you don't like for yourself, don't like it for no one else. They say that what goes around does always come back around. Right now I feel I need a jarry. Too much bad hype on me, need a jarry. Right now I feel I need a jarry. Too much bad hype on me, need a jarry. I see they watching me. Why you there watching me? Just mind your business and don't worry about me. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Start the thing now. Play the thing now. You know you got some people just like to sit down and watch you. Hear this. You like a spy watching me. With success come jealousy. You like a spy watching me.
That is so true, eh?
Success come jealousy.
Jealousy all over the place.
Would anybody tell me what is bad I remedy? Right now I feel I need a jarry. Too much bad hype on me, need a jarry. Right now I feel I need a jarry. Too much bad hype on me, need a jarry. I see they watching me. Why you there watching me? Just mind your business and don't worry about me. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Lyrical in the BKVJ studio.
That's right. We all need a jarry. Samantha Cho, good evening again. And you said, ha ha, ha, I need a jarry every day because if I smile, I'll get into trouble. You know, Samantha, it's sad that the way how we are getting into the world, but don't worry, Mama. I think I have to call you too because we need to talk about something. But anyhow, you know, I don't know where we are heading in the world, but nevertheless, let's be optimistic, let's be positive, and let's be good to our own self. Oftentimes, people have to validate who they are, and the truth of the matter is, nobody have to validate you. You just know your own worth and your value. And how can we support someone who is in domestic violence abuse? Supporting someone experiencing domestic violence is incredibly important, and also it's dedicated. The goal is to provide them with safety, empowerment, and non-judgmental support without putting them or yourself at risk for the risk of harming themselves or yourself. Here you could do it. Hey, Dr. Narayan, that good evening, sir. How are you? We are talking about how can you. Probably we should have done this show together. We got to find some show. Next couple of weeks, I have to bring you on back anyway. But thank you. It's good to have you on. And we're talking tonight. How can we help someone in domestic violence relationship? Do not confront the abuser. They can escalate danger. Do not pressure the person to leave immediately. Leaving can be the most dangerous time, as we say. And we need to create a safety plan for when someone is in a domestic violence relationship. And Dr. Narayan, that you could share your point of view too. I'll read. um, and the truth of the matter is that leaving, it's difficult. You have to be very careful. You have to have a safety plan of how you're going to leave this relationship and decide that if I leave, I'm not going to go back. And as someone who's going to support someone who is supporting a friend, don't force them to leave. Don't force them to leave an abusive relationship. Let them go on their own terms. You don't want to get bad name too. I could tell you something from someone who's been fighting for this cause. Sometimes it could be very disappointing. Dr. Narayan that will tell you. Domestic violence, being one who supports someone, it could be disappointing, but you have to feel that you have to go in a non-judgmental way and don't expect too much. You just let the person know that you're there. Believe them what they're saying, and let them know that you believe them. You share with that, and you let them know it's not their fault, and also it's not. Let them know that they don't deserve a beating, they don't deserve abuse. Another thing not to do is to criticize the abuser. It can make the victim feel defensive or even ashamed. Stanley Ramsaran, a very good evening to you, sir. It's good to have you on the show. Thanks for tuning in. Guys, share the page with your friends and your family. Also, offer practical support. Help with transportation, childcare, or a safe place to stay, if it's safe to do so. Offer to go with them to the doctor or to go to court, especially if they have to go to court or to a shelter. And one thing that I have realized, despite we tell people to go to shelter, what I've realized over here in the United States, we have our own culture, we have things how we do, we have our own set of food. But the shelter here sometimes, and I'm not telling people don't go to shelter, it could be very unsafe to go to some of these shelters. Make sure you research the shelter that where the person is going to go. Like I said, it could be dangerous. You could get into fights and all these things. Assist with finding a domestic violence organization that could help these people. Also, you can call domestic violence hotline here in the United States, 1-800-799-7233. Help them to make a safety plan. Walk with an emergency bag with your documents, clothes, money, memorize important telephone numbers, identify a safe place, and exit. Code word for friends, family in case of an emergency. Right? If you have to go, have a code word that you and your friends could use. Right? And when you're preparing to leave a domestic violence relationship, make sure you pack everything, your passport, your birth certificate, your ID card, your insurance card, important phone numbers. The truth of the matter is you don't want to go back for these things. Because like I said, going back could be harmful, could be dangerous, could cost you your life. And let's say for argument's sake that you have to go back, make sure you go with the police and go follow the police advice. Don't say you're going upstairs with your husband and next thing you kill you up there, which I heard happen, right? Abuse is about power and control, not just about physical violence. Victim may stay for emotional, financial, or safety reasons. Leaving is a process, not a one time event. Be there for the long haul. Keep checking in. Abuse, 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 isolate people. So let them know that you're there, whether if they stay or if they leave, and know that you will not go hard on them if they leave. Respect their choice, even if they disagree with you, right? And the general warning signs in the victim. They become withdrawn or depressed, stop seeing friends and family. This is what we are talking about. These are some of the things that you will see in the victims who have been abused. They become withdrawn or depressed. They stop seeing friends and family. Make excuses for their partner's behavior. Has low self-esteem or feels helpless. Talk about feeling scared and unsafe. I have witnessed many years ago where one person, she was by her parents and her husband came to pick her up. And I could not believe she picked up her shoes and she ran when her husband came for her. She didn't put on her shoes. She ran with it because she was so scared. And one has to wonder why. And this is a smart girl I'm talking about who was marketable, who had a good job, who was making over $100,000 a year, but still choose to stay in that relationship. And that you have to, like I said, you have to accept people for what they do, for the decision. And if you or someone know, you may know, experience domestic abuse, it's important to take it seriously. Abuse is never the victim's fault. Confidentiality, help is available. Like I said, you can call 1-800-799-7233. And let's see. Samantha said yes, and also the shelter sometimes require medical records. Yep. So it's not that easy sometimes, but it's doable. It's better than staying in an abusive relationship where you end up dying. Right? And like I tell people, you want to support your family members, whether your daughter, your sons, your grandchildren, your niece, your nephew, you support them. Why do men abuse their partners? As we have learned and we have said before, that it's about power and control and often deeply rooted psychological, emotional, or social issues. When men abuse their spouse, it's typically not because they are male, but because of specific personal, cultural, and systemic factors that contributes to the abusive behavior. And let's talk about some things, right? Some reasons. Many abusers feel the need to dominate their partners, whether it's emotional, physical, or psychological. They want to be macho. I'm the man in this relationship. Or a woman may say, listen, although I'm a woman, I'm the man in this relationship. Right? So they want to out talk you and be in control. Mental health issues or traumas. Some abusers may suffer from untreated mental health disorders. And we know that sometimes there are more mental health, mental diagnosed, mentally ill people out there who haven't been diagnosed from unrelated mental health disorders or have experienced trauma in their life. Example, especially in childhood, where they have witnessed abuse. While this is not an excuse, this can contribute to dysfunctional behavior. And I want to tell you, as a nurse, I get to interview a lot of people, and one of the questions you ask them if they were ever abused as a child. And I'm surprised to have learned that so many people have witnessed abuse by their mother, their grandmother, And it's sad. I feel bad for them. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of people, they don't address these traumas. They don't abuse it. They don't address it. And so what happened? They become an adult and they have all these trauma, unresolved trauma in them. So I want to encourage our men, our women who is in a abusive relationship. Seeing a therapist is a great thing. It's a good move. One of the best moves that you can make for yourself and your family. Especially if you want to save your family, your wife. Because sometimes there's things that you may not be able to, you get so anxious to, so crazy, so mad, and you don't want to, you can't control yourself. Go get help. Talk to your partner, get some help. In some cultures or communities, men are socialized to believe that they are entitled to control women or dominate. Dominance is part of the masculinity, right? Um, they can reinforce the idea that women should be submissive. I believe in love, and I believe that there should not be. I mean, yes, in certain case, women should, you know, but I believe in team effort. Work with each other to build each other up, to build the family dynamics. You work, I work, I come home, I help. You know what I'm saying? Sense of entitlement or jealousy. Some men feels entitled to their partner time, attention, or the body. Some men think, listen, that's my wife, that's my woman. Nobody controls her. I get to tell her what to do. Not she even get to say what to do. Extreme jealousy or possessiveness can lead to emotional, physical, or physical abuse. The lack of accountability. They may not believe their actions are wrong or minimize it, um, deny or rationalize their behavior. Um, Systems that fail to hold abuser accountable can reinforce the behavior. Um, One of the thing is that I have to say is that some women don't talk about their abuse or they try to minimize it. I find a lot of women in Guyana, or probably over here too, I don't know. They report the story, they report the abuse, go to the police station, and then they drop the case. So guess what? And they end up with their husband back. But I truly believe that this is my personal opinion. I believe that the government should hold abusers accountable for their actions. As long as it's reported, you shouldn't have the ability to, the spouse should not have the ability to withdraw the case. The first thing probably they should do is to try mandate them to treatment or counseling. Listen, we're going to send you to 6 months counseling for domestic violence. And if that doesn't work, then probably jail or whatever it is. But I believe in talking. I believe in treatment. I believe in therapy. Doctor, if Dr. Narayan that is still listening, he would agree with me that counseling do work. People who are predisposed to domestic abuse may have certain risk factors or characteristics. But it's important to remember that domestic abuse can occur in any geographic setting. History of violence or abuse. Individuals with a history of aggressive or violent behavior, especially in childhood or previous relationship. We got people who do drugs, who drink alcohol, can increase likelihood for aggressive behaviors. And we see that when I know that in Guyana that when the husband work all week, they get paid Friday, they go drink, and they come home and they beat their wife. Certain mental health conditions, such as impulsive or anger management problems, can be associated with higher risk. And like if you see that your partner is having issues with anger, probably you could encourage them to go and get treatment. Go start with talk therapy, you know. Attitude and beliefs that condone violence, gender equality, or domination over partners. Socioeconomic factors, stress related to financial difficulties, unemployment can contribute to tension. I know if you don't have a job and the wife alone working could be stressful for the husband or anyone. But I want to tell you, if you're in a partnership relationship, then guess what? You could get help. Talk to each other. Don't worry, we can pull this through, right? And history of domestic abuse. Someone who has been a victim in the past may also have a higher risk of involvement again. And finally, I want to say it's crucial to approach this topic with sensitivity, as predators do not mean that someone will necessarily commit abuse. Prevention and intervention strategies focus on addressing the risk factors early on. And so, I wouldn't be doing 2 hour shows on Monday night because it's long and you have to go to work and it's I alone doing the show. So, nevertheless, I want to encourage you guys, ladies and gentlemen, to help support those who are experiencing domestic violence. Support them, help them. And Samantha said, I have to tell you, not only in Ghana, absolutely, I have seen it in Turkey, Africa, and Morocco. The women are very submissive. Also in China, yes. So I hope that tonight's show would have bring some highlight to where domestic violence is concerned, and that we can help someone be kinder in this world where there's so much hate. By the way, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Guyana. Um, so I'm going to do a live just now because I don't like to talk about politics really on the radio, but I'll be talking about. I want to talk about the what went on in Parliament today. Probably about 20 minutes or so. So I want to say thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll be back regularly on Monday nights with the Ken Rampersaud Show. I want to thank all my viewers, all those who have contributed on the show tonight. Thank you very much. I want to say that I know a lot of you watching who I haven't seen commenting. I want to say thank you very much for commenting, for watching the show and share it with your friends and family. And so I'll probably be more often on the radio or talking about things that I see affecting our community. On that note, let me play another song for you guys and have a great night, everyone.
आजा रे ओ मेरी दिल पर आजा दिल की प्यास बुझा जा रे
This song is for all our beautiful viewers.
आजा रे